Shane, what was it like the bye week? What did you really kind of see from these guys coming back from that?
Yeah, for us, a chance to get healthy up front. You can try to back off in practice, but up front, when those collisions happen every day, those guys are not healthy very long. I say healthy, I mean just banged up and nicked up. So it was good to rest some of the guys that had played a bunch, number one, and then number two was a chance to work some younger guys and see if they developed on scout team, coming back running our defense and the young guys scrimmage. So it was a chance really to rest the older guys and continue to see where the young guys were.
When you guys look at the first 6 games of the season, what's something that stands out to you that you know you got to work on in the second half of the season?
Well, the first thing is there's a target on our back, and we've talked about that with other coaches, but they got to understand the arena they're stepping into. That's something that we've got to embrace and understand. But for us up front, we've kind of skinnied down some of the guys we're playing, so we're not playing as many guys, and it's really just. I think we got to continue to develop our pass rush. I was pretty pleased with the run game, other than the one long run at Cincinnati. I thought we held up the run game pretty good. They tried to attack us in 12 personnel, really couldn't. But I thought rushing the passer, the one good pressure by Jalen on the pick, by Tay, and had a good hit by 6 and a sack by 6, but just didn't get the quarterback enough to let him out a few times.
Some of the guys have talked about this kind of being like a revenge tour with, you mentioned that, like with target on your back with guys having like every, you're getting some of these teams second, third time in a row.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of, they're going to get their best shot at you.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious when you see them come off the sideline and the fashion, they tight ball games, and you see those guys come off the way they came off as coaches and players and celebrating. But our guys know that, and that's like everybody wants to see, it's like when I was little, I wanted to see like Notre Dame wins, for instance. I don't know, you know what I mean? Because when you're whatever, it's just the way it is. It's just life in the big city. We got to embrace it and know it and be ready for it every Saturday.
You shuffled different lineups. The first half of the season. Are things becoming a little bit more clear on rotations and who should see them?
Yeah, I think so. Certainly, I think some guys have, embraced their role and taken advantage of it, like a Kalia Davis. You move him inside. He's had really 2 good weeks. And other guys maybe have not had the production, so you step back on those guys' reps a little bit. But yeah, I think we're just trying to settle in. Got 6 games of tape to see who can operate without busting or operate with good pad level. So yeah, I think just having so many new guys in the room, it took us several weeks to find out, who are the top 4. So we're going to be still playing a lot of guys, but played a lot of guys early.
So what has Kalia done to kind of step to the forefront?
Well, first of all, he's 295 pounds, so he's as big as anybody we got. He's got extremely good first step. He's explosive. If you watch him, for what we do up front, his ability to attack the football and be part of the football, which is part of that's trained, part of that's just being quick twitch and reactionary. He can do that well, and he's just heavy-handed. That's the best way I can put it. I think he has good weight room numbers, but he's got them shock paddles for hands, man. He puts them on guys, and boom, and that's something he's doing more of than probably the rest of those guys.
What was it like for you watching that moment with Montalvo last week?
When I was on the road recruiting, so I knew about it going in. I asked the video guys to tape it for me. So I came out of high school on Thursday, and I see my Twitter feeds, going crazy, and I called Monty in the locker room. Just a great moment. I mean, any school that does that sort of thing, it's always a great moment. But he really did earn it. He took a tough route to get here, and there was probably a lot of days, even in camp, when he wondered if I was ever going to give him a chance. And I think we had a conversation at camp. Not that I knew it ended up in a scholarship. I said, just stay true to who you are and what you're doing, and I think things are going to go well for you, whether that's playing time and then you making plays and staying on the field. And that's what he did, right? He took advantage, he trusted, and just so happy for him, and just a great kid. He's what you want the room to be.
What's been most impressive to you about his journey to get to this point? Just
fighting through. So many kids would have quit and given up. We're in a portal culture, or whatever you want to call it. It's when I was his age, I don't know that I could have had that stick-to-itiveness that he had, but just his ability to stick through that when he probably thought he should have been playing and it wasn't, over a guy that maybe he thought he'd outperformed, but that's life as a walk-on sometimes, and you got to strain a little further, a little longer, and that's what he did. So
you mentioned this a little bit, but when the bye week is the week to improve and see things where you can go better. Just sort of list off maybe your priorities as far as what you guys want to improve up front heading out of the bye.
For us, again, I don't think our pass rush is where it needs to be. I really feel like we're better in the run than we were last fall. I'm not sure if the numbers, all the stats will not bear it out, but I just feel like watching the clips that we're better. We hadn't given up as many explosive in the run game, where if you go back last year, FAU and some of those games where we gave up explosives, UConn. So I think we're better in the run game. Pass rush, just don't know that we're pressuring, but we're just not getting home like I thought we should. I thought early in the Cincinnati game we had a T-stunt at the boundary where Mason countered. If he doesn't, 6 is going to get home, But so some of it's that kind of thing, but that's still, we got to operate better. So see if we can get better at pressuring the quarterback with a straight four-man rush.
Coming out of the bye, I'm not sure we're talking about more Sprashes in the rotation now, but halfway through his freshman season, what would you say about him?
He's a freshman. He's a freshman. He figures out sometimes you can't just go out there and play football. High school at C-ball, get ball, it really is. I don't mean that in a negative way, but you can get away with not playing structured and detail. So I think what he's learning is that personnel matters and down and distance matters, and if you don't tune into that stuff, but he's going to be a really good football player. I still really like this freshman class. Whether it's Raymond Cutts or Dallas Corbett or Cam Green, I really like the guys we signed, and I think Drop's having a good fall, and this is going to be good football players for a long time.
Turnovers? Josh talked a little bit about that yesterday.
Yeah,
trying to get some turnovers on the defensive side. What can you guys do maybe to improve on that?
Well, first thing in practice, run to the ball and get as many hats to the ball. So you got as many guys raking at it, second man in, punching it, stripping it. I think that's something you got to ingrain in practice. We got to get more takeaways through fumbles, forced fumbles. I think we've done a decent job picking the ball off. 6 or so of those, but. Just that's how you get run to the football pursuit, a bunch of hats getting there, and that's what we talked about all day. Yesterday we talked about, second guy, third guy, let's go get the ball out. So just consistent effort to the ball.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach, as always.